Chapter 1. Purpose of the Modern International Firm. The modern international firm operates in an environment where complexity is no longer episodic, it is structural. Globalization still matters, but it is now filtered through geopolitical fragmentation, regulatory divergence, contested data flows, climate constraints, and rapid technological change. Internally, the firm is also changing. AI systems increasingly sit inside core workflows, decisions are made with machine-augmented judgment, and execution can be partially automated by agents acting on goals, policies, and permissions. In this setting, purpose is not a branding statement or a moral accessory. Purpose is the organizing logic that answers three practical questions. 1. Why does the firm exist, as an institution rather than a set of contracts? 2. What should the firm optimize, and what must it refuse to optimize? 3. How does the firm stay coherent while operating across borders, cultures, and sovereign legal regimes? A workable definition for 2026 to 2030 is, the purpose of the modern international firm is to create durable value by coordinating people, capital, technology, and relationships across jurisdictions, while remaining legitimate, resilient, and adaptive under uncertainty. Value creation remains central, but durability now carries more weight. Durability requires trust, compliance, operational resilience, and the ability to learn faster than the environment changes. The evolution of purpose in global business. Purpose is often discussed as if it were newly discovered. In reality, it has always been present, sometimes explicit, often implicit, embedded in legal forms, capital markets, and managerial doctrine. As firms expanded across borders, purpose widened in practice because international operations force trade-offs that domestic firms can sometimes postpone. Cross-border scale introduces recurring friction, different labor regimes, currency and capital controls, tax complexity, local standards, sanctions risk, and diverse expectations about corporate behavior. Purpose becomes the rule that holds the organization together when the right answer varies by jurisdiction. From 2026 to 2030, a further shift accelerates. The firm becomes an AI-augmented institution. This does not mean every enterprise is an AI company. It means many enterprises will rely on AI to translate intent into execution at scale. When parts of the enterprise can act semi-autonomously, purpose stops being inspirational language and becomes system design. It must be expressible as policies, constraints, permissions, and escalation paths. A practical way to see this evolution is as three overlapping layers. Purpose as value creation. The firm converts inputs into outputs people want and will pay for: products, services, infrastructure, experiences, reliability. This includes innovation, execution, and risk-taking. Purpose as coordination. The firm exists because it can coordinate resources more effectively than markets can in certain contexts, especially when tasks require tight integration, repeatability, or long-term investment. Purpose as legitimacy. The firm persists only if society tolerates its power. Legitimacy is earned through compliance, perceived fairness, trust, and contribution. When legitimacy fails, constraints arrive quickly: regulation, litigation, labor conflict, consumer backlash, loss of permits, blocked data flows, or political intervention. In stable periods, firms can treat legitimacy as a reputational topic and coordination as an internal matter. In a fragmented, high-volatility world, legitimacy and coordination become strategy. Why firms exist: the institutional logic beneath purpose. Markets are powerful coordination mechanisms, but they are not free. Searching, negotiating, contracting, enforcing, and adapting all carry costs. When these transaction costs are high, or when the work requires integration across many moving parts, firms internalize activities. In practice, large international firms persist because they can do several things simultaneously: make long-horizon commitments, R&D, infrastructure, capability building, that are hard to sustain through one-off contracts. Bundle capabilities, brand, distribution, compliance, talent systems, data platforms, into a coordinated whole. Reduce uncertainty for participants through standards, repeat interactions, and institutional continuity. Allocate capital internally across projects and geographies when external capital is expensive, constrained, or mispriced. Hold and protect intangible assets like proprietary processes, customer relationships, and sensitive data. Provide identity and accountability, a durable who that customers, employees, partners, and regulators can evaluate. International scale increases the value of internal coordination because cross-border transactions are expensive in the broadest sense. AI changes the picture by lowering some coordination costs, information retrieval, routine decisions, while raising new ones, model risk, data governance, oversight, and auditability. What purpose must do in 2026 to 2030? Purpose has to work as an operational control system, not a poster. It must translate into decisions under pressure, across borders, and increasingly across human-machine teams. A robust purpose statement for a modern multinational must include 4 components. A clear optimization target. What is the firm trying to maximize over time? Not just quarterly profit, but a durable value function such as long-term free cash flow, reliability, safety, customer outcomes, innovation rate, or strategic resilience explicitly balanced against cost of capital and risk. Non-negotiable constraints. Constraints are where purpose becomes real. They define what must not be optimized away, even under competitive pressure, legal and compliance baselines across jurisdictions, data privacy, cybersecurity, and model governance principles, safety and quality commitments, especially in regulated or safety-critical domains, human rights and labor standards expectations, environmental thresholds where material to license to operate in long-term viability and AI-enabled workflows, constraints must be convertible into policy, access, control, monitoring, and escalation. If a constraint cannot be enforced, it is not yet a constraint, just intent. Stakeholder commitments with priorities. Not every stakeholder demand can be satisfied simultaneously. Purpose should specify priorities and a conflict resolution logic. For example, a firm may state that customer safety overrides short-term margin, or that privacy commitments constrain monetization. Clarity prevents perpetual internal debate, inconsistent local adaptations, and shadow strategies emerging across regions. A learning and improvement charter. A self-improving enterprise cannot rely on slogans about learning. Purpose should define how the firm improves, what will be measured to detect progress and failure. How will knowledge be captured and reused across geographies? How will incidents be handled, blame, concealment, or root cause learning? This matters more in AI-augmented firms because small errors can scale rapidly, and because models drift as environments change. Purpose and the boundary of the firm. Purpose shapes what the firm should own, partner for, or buy. Modern multinationals increasingly orchestrate ecosystems, suppliers, logistics providers, cloud vendors, model providers, BPO partners, marketplaces, and joint ventures. The boundary of the firm is therefore a governance choice. Internalize activities when the activity is central to differentiation or strategic control. The risk is high and requires direct oversight. The knowledge created is strategically valuable and should compound internally. Tight integration with core systems, data, or brand promise is required. Partner or outsource when the capability is commodity-like and economies of scale exist externally. Risk can be governed through contracts, audits, and monitoring. The work does not require sensitive data or deep integration. Flexibility and speed matter more than ownership. AI introduces a new boundary issue: dependence on external models and data pipelines. A firm whose purpose includes trust, privacy, or national security sensitivity cannot treat AI vendors as interchangeable utilities. It must design for transparency, control, and contingency. Purpose under uncertainty, stable core, adaptive execution. The central paradox of 2026 to 2030 is that firms must change continuously without losing coherence. Purpose resolves the paradox by separating stable identity, what the firm is for, what it will not do, adaptive strategy, how it competes given conditions, evolving operations, how work is executed as technology and environments change. Purpose is not rigidity. It is a stable reference point that reduces decision ambiguity, speeds coordination, and makes change safer, especially when decisions are delegated to distributed teams and automated systems. Purpose should be reviewed periodically, but not rewritten every quarter. The right cadence resembles constitutional design, stable principles with adaptable policies. Conclusion: purpose as a control system. The modern international firm is not merely a profit machine or a set of business units. It is an institution that coordinates resources across borders under legal, social, and technological constraints. From 2026 to 2030, purpose becomes more operational than ever because AI-native workflows and autonomous agents can amplify both value creation and harm. A well-defined purpose acts as the enterprise's control system. It defines what to optimize: durable value creation.